Hey, what's happening?
All right.
What are you reading over there, Poppy?
What am I reading?
Yeah.
No, I'm just taking a picture of
Ooh, picture of what?
yeah. of the microphone so I can post it on our Instagram.
Nice. Hey guys, welcome back to Mike on a Platter, and tonight we have Paul Freudenberger, jawohl, from Soundscapes Media Group, and he was in here last time. Let's see, how long's it been, Paul?
I don't know. It's got to be like 10 months or more. It was.
10 months? Has it been that long?
I think so.
10 months?
Google
Jeez.
said so.
Oh, it's been a while. Okay.
Crazy that Google tracks you
no
like that.
lie.
Yeah.
So
Hey, can I?
we're happy to have Paul back again. He came in because he wanted to talk about some new stuff that he's finally finished, and also he wants to talk about his studio and what he's got going on over there. If any of you guys have some recording projects that you want to take on, he's got an awesome studio out in the where is it, Burbank?
It's at a secret, undisclosed location
Oh,
in
okay.
the borough of Van Nuys.
Yeah, he could tell you, but he'd have to kill you.
Well, yeah, I'd
Stuff
rather
like
not tell you.
Yeah, okay.
Because if you show up, he doesn't want to share his beer.
Hey, make sure
No,
you put
no,
your face
the-
over here, Poppy, not over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Over here.
Oh.
Let's see. Is Poppy in there? Let's get some Poppy.
I'm
There's
in
some
there.
Poppy.
All right.
Gotta have me
Alright.
some Poppy. Alrighty. So let's make sure we're all up on here and everything's going through. Yay! All right. So far, everything seems to be working. You, Pop?
Yep, everything's good.
Okay, good. All right. We're solid. We're in. So, Paul, talk to us. Tell us
Well,
what's going on.
Well, thanks for having me back, first of all. And like I was thinking earlier that
Give us a little more,
oh,
Mike.
yeah.
You don't have to lean too much. Just project your voice. There you go. Yes, Mr. Sound Technician. Come on.
Yeah,
Give us the audio.
Is this thing on?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, so I had my first vodcast with you guys way back there, in different times.
And we had
And we were visited with Adam Weiner.
Adam Weiner.
And,
AJ Weiner. AJ Weiner.
AJW. And of course the band dad, Bone Daddy band dad, Mike Tempo.
Yes,
And
Mr.
that
Tempo.
was really great, and we were debuting our first release, which was a major accomplishment. So I've got that in its collector's edition version, as well as 3 other releases. But I think really what I'm here to talk about is just for the love of vinyl. I just really have, since the last time we talked, just got into completely the vinyl lifestyle, and I'm really happy to be able to report that there are a lot of young people who are totally into vinyl, and
Yeah, there's a big hype behind it, right? Or I mean, it has been since even before COVID, right?
Yeah.
But sales did definitely skyrocket during COVID.
There's no question about it. There are all sorts of things that have happened, but due to the pandemic, I think that there was a lot of just hunger for being able to access music and in a different way, and I think that there was a lot of nostalgia for simpler times, and the thing is that vinyl is really a true interactive media. It's an immersive media because you can play it, but you can also hold it, and you can read the liner notes and admire the pictures and
Make
so on.
love to it.
Make love to the vinyl fetish, huh?
on your own time.
Yes,
On your own
that's
time.
right.
I'm not even going to go anywhere near that, actually.
No, it's okay. You can be a little sexy, baby. It's not, rock and roll is sexy, baby.
You want to get Randy?
That's right. You want to get randy around here, baby?
Let's not get the 45s out, shall we?
Yeah, okay.
All right. So, but
Just make sure you wear your protection, baby.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so basically a year and a half ago, I founded Soundscapes Media Group with the intention of making some music on vinyl, and the Odyssey has taken me through a wonderful journey through many specialized craftsmen and technicians. So disc mastering guys and graphic artists and brilliant writers and image creators and so on, and finding pressing plants and printing presses that really specialize in this. It's a high art form, and
Sure.
and it's multimedia. So three of the projects got kind of delayed due to the pandemic, but they're out and they're alive and they're being released onto the world, and it's a really exciting time.
So there's two projects that that you brought in here that we actually have some video clips.
Yeah.
To see who are these people, who are these projects, which one you want to start with?
Well, I'm really proud of both of these for entirely different reasons. The first project is a wonderful piano jazz project. It's a trio. Really harkens back to sort of that piano trio combo of the 50s jazz, right?
Okay.
And it's bass, drums, piano, and just wonderful sonic loveliness. And the artist is Greg Sparrow, and he's a super talented pianist. He covers many different styles, but he really has just a wonderful knack for jazz.
And okay, so how many copies of this did you put out?
We have pressed 500 copies
Okay.
of Greg Sparrow Acoustic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's now available. And
Available at
where can folks
yeah.
find that?
Yeah, well, www.soundscapesmedia.com.
Okay. So should we check out Greg's video, see what this guy's all about?
Absolutely. Let's
Okay. Let me see if I can cue that up for you. Okay.
cue the video.
Okay.
Oop, there's Glenn. Not the one.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. We can,
Okay. The Glenn Ferris one was one that you brought me. You brought me Glenn Ferris and Bone Daddies.
Then let's talk about those.
Okay, all right.
Apologies. I supplied the wrong video. So Glenn Ferris is a jazz trombonist. He was an LA session cat in the 70s. And he moved to Paris to sort of live the bohemian jazz lifestyle. And we put out a double album of a recording that was only available on CD until now. And let's roll the tape on that.
Okay. Hang on a second. That was the one that I just queued up a second ago, right?
Yeah.
That's one we're looking
Yeah.
at. Okay, hang on a second. Let me pull that sucker
Yeah.
up. Okay, let's go to Glenn and see what we got here. Cool, man.
Wow.
How was that?
Dude,
Yeah.
that was a big old trombone, or was he just getting really close to the screen there?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you got a really big trombone there.
Well, it's definitely a big bell, that's for sure.
Okay.
So those are live versions of the studio versions that we've put out, and it's just real wholesome. It's Glenn Ferris and and his Italian quintet.
Okay, that's
And
what I saw
the instrumentation is bass and drums and guitar and either clarinet or bass clarinet and trombone. And it's just really soulful trombone jazz. There's a story behind this artist, and that is that he was a student of my father's.
there. No kidding.
Yeah. So my father was doing trombone lessons in 1962 and 63, and Glenn was a young pup of about, I don't know, 9 or 10 at the time.
Okay.
And he was a student of my dad's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
And we met years later, decades later, in Paris, and just hit it off. And I started listening to his music and became a big fan. And now we've got a record out with him.
Nice,
All right.
good
So,
stuff.
so who's your dad?
My dad's nobody anyone knows except my family, but he's
Hey, now.
Ed Freudenberg, and he was a,
Is it Freudenberg or Freudenberger?
just a Berg. We
Oh, I got to take the ER off because I was getting all anxious
well, you
about
get excited,
having a hamburger.
right?
You know.
just need another syllable.
That's right, another ER there. I'll change it. I'll make sure I change it.
Yeah.
Changing the credits. Sorry, buddy. Hey, are you guys hot?
It's a little bit toasty in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
take.
we're gonna take our shirts off. Just kidding.
I think we should open up that beer.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, hang on a
ho, 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 ho.
I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Hint, hint, hint. Okay, what do we
All right,
got
let's see
here?
All right. Well, this first of all,
Here,
we
let's
gotta
put
get
that
this-
up. Put that up to
yeah,
this
well, we
little.
want to make sure it's not as much. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Kind of took off the.
So this comes from the brewing operations of Ocean Rock
Oh
Brewing.
yeah, hook a brother up.
Yeah, and Ocean Rock is making handcrafted beer in very small batches, like 10-gallon batches. This is a
Don't take it. Don't taste it.
Yeah,
You
I'm
wait your turn,
smelling
pal.
it. I'm smelling it.
Attaboy.
yeah. Take in the
Oh.
smell.
Oh.
So this is called Buzzcock, if anyone's asking. Buzzcock is our version of a British ESB, which is extra special bitter.
You said
So-
cock.
I said buzz too. So,
You said buzz. Oh, well, let's
All
say
right,
cheers,
cheers.
everybody. Okay, get your favorite drinks in
Salute.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
British beer is a little bit warm, but it still takes the edge off.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Well,
nice.
so
It's
it's
almost
nice.
like it's like a brown
It's close to Fuller's
between a red and a
ESB.
brown.
Yeah, it's definitely in that category.
Mm.
But it does make you transport you to England, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely.
We're at a pub.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
The
yeah,
band's about to come on.
Yes, I was in a pub in England, in London, years and years and years ago before I got married and had kids, and I was there with my brother and his wife, and we went to a bar called the Intrepid Fox.
Mm.
I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's like it was the hip alternative. One of it's huge. Excuse me, not but one of the hip alternative indie kind of bars there.
Uh-huh.
And go in there, and they're just blasting the music, and there's people from Ireland, from Scotland, from everywhere in there. And I'll never forget the bartender. The bartender was this girl who had one of those nose rings with a chain going to underneath her tight purple patent leather dress to her nipple. So it was like chained to her nipple, and she just had all these piercings everywhere. It was like this. Yeah, all right, this is hardcore. This is a hardcore bar. And I remember talking to this Irish girl, and she's telling me about these drinks called snake bites, and it's like, it was a beer like this, and then they put, like it's a shot glass within a rock glass kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They put a blackberry schnapps or brandy. It's like a blackberry schnapps dropper inside of a beer that tasted just like this. That's why it brought up that memory, obviously.
Dig it.
So it's like
And
a
it's called a
Jägerbomb?
snake bite. Yes. After like 3 of those, dude,
Right.
you walk out of the bar ready to just pounce.
Oi.
And that's
Oi.
why, the British are fighting drunks.
Yes, they are.
But
Not as much as the fighting Irish.
you gotta love them.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let me get back to Greg Sparrow because we
Go.
ran
I'm
the
sorry.
video. No.
Go for it.
We got off track, and since we don't have any video, we'll have to pull out the slideshow.
Oh yeah. Let's give
So-
Greg some
So we
props.
got to give him some big drops. So this is Greg Sparrow acoustic. I don't know which camera picks it up.
Whichever one.
We'll put you on the main one, and then I'll put you over to. There you go. That
This one?
one right there.
Good
Yeah,
one?
you got it.
Alright.
That looks good. Oh, that's
Alright.
nice. That's
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah, we really tried to capture some of the
Nice little fade in there.
the sort of 50s style, sort of monochromatic.
Sure.
Um,
2-color press.
yeah, and this has got Micaiah
two-spot.
McCraven and Matt Ullery on bass and drums, and it's just really great piano jazz music, super inspired.
Well,
And the liner notes were written by Lauren Tannenbaum, and it describes the composition of the pieces, and that this was really spiritual journey for Greg as he went through and composed these tunes and recorded them.
Okay, so you made 500 of this one, and then you also made 500 of Glenn, correct?
Yeah, when it comes to vinyl, 500 is kind of the minimum quantity.
Okay.
It's
Just to see what it does.
yeah. I mean, it's when you're dealing with these boutique pressing plants, they really want a minimum order of 500. So
Sure.
it's a threshold, right? So you have to really have the confidence and in the material and everything that you're putting out there, and you got to go, I'm going to sell 500 of these.
All right. Well, I'm sorry we couldn't see this video, but that's okay. We'll
We can do that next time.
we'll do it next time. We'll bring it back. Okay.
We can fix it in the mix.
And then we got a third, right?
We've got a third and a fourth.
A third and a fourth.
we haven't-
Okay.
But I think you are queued up to go back to the Bone Daddies.
I could do that because I have that Bone Daddies video.
Dig
We
it.
could take a look at
because
that
I
one.
want to give you a. I know I'm fondling with my bag down here.
Fondle away,
Easy,
mate.
Easy. All right.
He's
so,
playing with his buggy.
Bone Daddies.
Oh, here, let's put that up to
Archaeology.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. It finally made it on press. There it is. Look
it
at that.
is.
It's beautiful.
And this one is a special collector's edition.
Oh, dang.
And I'm going to actually break the seal on this because I'm allowed. I know.
He's the boss. He says what goes.
Because what we put inside the collector's edition is a lot of fun. And you're going to keep that. I think.
Yeah.
So, first of all, in addition to our gatefold presentation with the lyrics and the liner notes,
Yeah, here's your camera so you can
Yeah.
see right there what you're showing
Right.
off there. Oh, that's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
The collector's edition
Matches the background a little
is-
too. Look at
it-
that.
yeah, that's amazing.
Whoa, psychedelic, man. There's like a little transparency there, man.
Oh, I'm digging that. This is a numbered edition, limited and numbered, and we've got groovy poster inside, which is a different take of the gatefold,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's got a little Mike Tempo.
Oh, that's
signature
cool.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I try to get it.
Is that a
Whoa.
Mike Tempo
I'm gonna-
painting? Did Mike
Yes,
paint it?
yeah.
Oh,
This is a
awesome.
hand
Perfect.
painted.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better. Mike, if you're out there listening,
Mhm.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
But
Miss ya.
This is the money shot right here, guys.
Okay, let's
Because
check out this money
You've
shot.
got to have the colored vinyl, and this one is
Oh, look
yellow
at that.
vinyl with red splatter.
And if you put it in the right light, it's like translucent and
Yeah.
disappears, and all you see is the background.
Yeah,
And
man.
dude,
Yeah.
that is so
Oh,
rad.
wait, where did that- oh, where did that go?
Ooh, that's a
I was
lot.
digging it.
Here, let me
Wow.
bring that
That's
over here.
awesome.
Let's see what this camera does. Whoa, look at that
Oh, yeah.
psychedelic,
Oh, yeah.
man. Whoa, that's really cool. Wow,
Dig it.
that's
So
that.
there you go.
It looks like a bowling ball, dude. It looks like a
Yeah.
flat bowling ball.
Anyway, you can have so much fun with this stuff, and we wanted to have a little fun with this, and the collectors appreciate it. And this is my gift to you guys.
Oh,
thank
my
you.
God, thank you so
Yeah, well,
much.
thanks for
Can we
having
put
me.
the hype sticker on this part right here?
You can do whatever you want, man. It's all yours.
Like right here?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Love that.
Gotta keep that.
Now I don't know if you noticed that the I don't think it's on the hype sticker. We had one of our stickers for the standard version, which
Okay.
had one of the ingredients was new record smell, and
Love it.
it's one of the special ingredients. So there you go. So
Yeah,
that's
right. Awesome.
Bone Daddies Archaeology.
Wow,
Shall we
thank
cut to the
you.
video?
Yeah, let's
Yeah, let's do a
jump
little
in on some
jamming.
Bone Daddies. Let's do a Bone Daddies jam here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say yes. We'll say yes. We'll say yes. We'll say yes. Always showing up. Showing up, showing up. Showing up, showing up. Oh, daddy go, mama cry. Daddy stay for a while. Oh, daddy stay, mama cry. Daddy go away. We're going, baby, burn. Back burn. Salute.
I think. Yeah. Right. So there you go. So that's a little clip from the Bone Daddies.
Cut,
Nice little
cut
go.
the chatter and spin this platter.
Yeah, that's
it.
right.
Awesome.
The immortal words of Mike Tempo,
Oh,
Band Dad.
no kidding. That
So-
was so cool when you guys were in here last time. We were looking at some of those videos. That was fun
We
stuff.
had a lot of fun. Yeah.
And it's
So
really
how did you hook up with the Bone Daddies?
That's a really great question. You know, so I had this wild idea. Hey, I'd like to be a record label. And
I think that's one of Jorge's questions. Are these your questions that you wrote down over
no,
here?
I wrote.
No.
Oh,
I-
you
I-
wrote
I
those
brought-
down.
I
Look
brought
at
my
you.
own.
You're like
I brought
ready
my
to
own.
go.
I learned from last time.
Yes. Hey, Paul's ready to go, mates. And like Mike on the platter here.
I was out in the club, and I was actually there to see the opening act. A friend of mine was playing in the band, and Bone Daddies were headlining. And I had seen them play back in around 1985 out on Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah, right.
And they had such a great show. It was super good music, super grooving, and great instrumentation, loads of energy, and great costumes. And they made a big impression. And here they were, you know, decades later, and they still have it. And I thought, oh man, these guys would really make a great record. You know, the kind of record where people are playing live music in the studio. You know, it's captured and you harness that magic. And so I just wrote him an email and I said, hey, Mike, how'd you like to make a record? And he called me up, and the rest is history. Yeah.
That's so awesome. That's
Yeah.
so awesome. It went down like that. You know,
Yeah.
because there's so many people you reach out to who even maybe they're not like multi-million follower famous people, but they're just like, who's this?
Yeah, it was very unpretentious. You know, he kind of checked me out. He had his audio guru call me and just see if I was legit. And then we had a couple of lunches in his backyard and just talked about everything, you know, music, and we waxed philosophical about the whole vinyl lifestyle. And
Nice.
then we're making a record.
Dude, that's
And-
so rad.
yeah, it was really cool. And then Mike did all the artwork. You know, he painted the gatefold, he painted the cover, and it was a wonderful, wonderful
Yeah,
project.
Man.
creative dude, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
So outside, you said that you know the weight or not the grams, right, of the
Yeah.
vinyl. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, well, that's a good question because there are a variety of different qualities of vinyl record. There always have been, but as vinyl has become more of this esoteric art form, there's been more of an emphasis on the audiophile qualities. So way back when, you know, in the 50s, when vinyl was the predominant, you know, sort of pop art distribution form, the records were made using either 100 gram or 120 gram vinyl pucks. So it's basically a biscuit that gets made right before it goes into the press. And you know, it was the right amount of material to get a decent recording, a decent impression of the recording, and the cost was right. You know, because there's always this economic issue when you're dealing with a consumer product like a record. So, but gradually, you know, the experts in vinyl are kind of like, you know, a slightly heavier weight would give it more durability. It would give it more substance. The grooves could be a little deeper and that sort of thing. And so the industry now regards 180 gram, which is all of these pressings are 180 gram, as kind of I would say the gold standard of audiophile vinyl. There are some heavier weights. They do 200 gram and they do 220, which are really, really substantial. But I would say the most common audiophile format is this 180 gram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. The more you know.
Right. The
And
more
for
you know.
the people
Well,
that
dude,
didn't know out there.
Well, how do they get that? How do they get that puck that's like multicolored? They're just pouring in different.
Oh yeah, man.
And so I would assume that because it's a puck that's made from like things that are being injected, they're not everyone's going to be exactly the same, right?
Yeah,
There's
well,
going to be
this
slight
is-
differences,
yeah,
right?
They're all different. I mean, it's like a fingerprint. When you start doing the tinted vinyl with the splatter, basically what they do is they make the pucks in advance, and they're slightly molten, and then they dip it, almost like ice cream in sprinkles, right? And they put both sides, and they get little pieces of the PVC of the different color.
Dude, it's
and
so
then,
rad.
And they put it into the press. Yeah, and
Oh
they're
my
all
God.
completely different. It's totally random.
Insane.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, but it's Craftsman, you know, and the pressing plant is it's a hardcore blue collar environment. You know, it's hot, and there's
You mean like as hot as it is in here?
it's a little bit cooler actually. You know,
Really?
you know.
Okay.
But it's noisy. You know, they're like 8 presses working, and they're working on pneumatics, and there are a lot of relays clicking. When a pressing is occurring, this puck goes into the center of the two sides of the press, and then they have steam, and they inject steam inside the molds to heat it up to the right temperature. Once the temperature is reached, then it squishes the puck, and it squirts it all the way out, and there's a little bit of flash that comes out, and then they take off the steam and they put in chilled water and they cool the mold before they open it up and the record slides out. So
Crazy.
So it goes through one of those heating and cooling cycles, probably every, I have to do the math, but maybe every, 20 or 30 seconds. And the average vinyl pressing plant is doing 100 discs an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a hard-working man, almost as hard-working as James Brown.
Oh.
Damn.
James Brown.
You see how?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Right.
Hey,
Go ahead, Aaron.
you said you had one more album.
Right. So we've.
Let's check it out. Let's see
Yeah.
this fourth one.
Yeah. Well.
And these are the 4s that you all did. You did 500 of all 4, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, in fact, the Bone Daddies is 1,000 because we did 500 collectors and 500 of the deluxe.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So yeah, this.
Go ahead and
is
show
right.
that up there.
How's that?
Yeah, you got
so
it. You got
trumpet
it.
and drum.
Okay.
This is another sort of family influence project. My uncle was a trumpet player in the Los Angeles Philharmonic, and he also played with Nat King Cole. And
So you got like this musical family thing going on here. That's pretty cool.
So in 1976, he recorded a bicentennial album, and I was in my early teens at that point, and I remember him coming over, and when your uncle brings over a record that he makes, you go, oh, that's cool. I think I want to do that. And it took me basically 40-something years to make records, and so we found the tapes. I was helping my aunt move, and we found the tapes, and I said, we've got to restore this, and we've got to reissue it. So this is the original 1976 tapes of Trumpet and Drum, and we did new graphics and new liner notes, but it's a patriotic record.
Trumpet and Drum. I don't know why I think of Miles Davis.
Yeah, well, this is all patriotic music, so
Okay.
you're gonna hear Yankee Doodle and the Nightingale.
Oh,
and
okay. So it's the
Star-Spangled
content.
Banner.
The content is very all American.
It's all American, and keep in mind, in 1976, America was on this major patriotic binge. I mean, we haven't seen that kind of patriotism.
Well, let's see.
since-
1776, 1976.
Yeah,
200
it was about
years.
200.
Well,
yeah.
there you go.
It was a
200
special.
It was a
special moment.
bicentennial celebration.
Yeah. And so anyway, so family project, and what I like about vinyl is that there's a permanence to it. These things last, right? People have a hard
Yeah.
time giving them away or throwing them out. They really want somebody to take over a collection, and it's because of the fact that vinyl has this permanence. It's been the vinyl has been impressed with this one purpose, which is to play that music.
Yeah.
And so this is really a tribute to American patriotism, and a tribute that my aunt is paying to my uncle, and the idea is to pass this forward to more generations. So you will get
No, I love it.
a couple more families that will dig this moment.
So, I keep hearing that vinyl sounds better. Why do you think that is?
I think there are a couple of reasons. I would be careful to say all vinyl sounds better. There's still, there's cheap vinyl and there's expensive vinyl.
The 180-gram vinyls.
Yeah, it's the whole process, right? It's all sorts of hand steps of people who care, and what I experienced during this project or these projects is I was able to compare the original master tapes with the digital versions, and then the master lacquers and all sorts of stuff. And the best thing I can describe is that vinyl just kind of smooths out the rough edges.
Okay.
There's just something about it. I don't know if it's because it's spinning around in a circle, or it could have something to do with the way the stylus just kind of floats in the groove or whatever, but it adds a little bit of warmth in the bottom end, and it just makes the high end smooth and silky and listenable.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the digital versions, they don't have the life in the bottom end, and they don't have that listenable quality as much in the top end. So
Okay.
it just knocks off the rough edges and gives it a girth that's just really warm. It's just like a gentle embrace. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So.
How many records do you have in your collection?
Yeah, well, not as many as you'd think, but I've inherited a couple of other people's collections, and I would say that I'm very selective about the vinyl that I own these days, and so I would say it's a couple of hundred.
Okay.
And it's in mostly jazz and classic rock or some classical, but very genre specific, and I think that's the beautiful thing about music on vinyl is you can be selective. There are certain record albums that you just have to own,
Yeah.
and I think that's the idea is if it's significant to you in some way, then it needs to be represented in your collection and not on your playlist.
Okay.
I think Adam or AJ Wiener and his 10,000 record collection, he'd agree.
Yes. Yes.
What does he have, like 10,000? He's got a lot.
Yeah,
he's got an incredible amount.
Well, he inspires me. And in fact, when I was contemplating this project, he was one of the first people persons I reached out to.
Okay.
And it was just like, Adam, I want to do this. What do you think? He says, yeah, man, you should do it.
In that voice of his?
Yeah, yeah, and yeah,
Like, yeah, man, you should do it.
and then he showed me his, and I showed him mine.
I'm sure.
And that's
It's like,
the
wow,
end of
that
story.
record's big.
That was the end of that story. I tell you right there. I was love at first sight.
So if your house was burning down and you had to
Oh,
grab
the-
your records,
The AJ question.
yep, which records would you grab?
Oof, that's tough, man.
If you could only carry, a crate of them.
Man, yeah, that's a stumper.
Well, AJ already claimed Bob Dylan, so.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. So I would say I've got some original Blue Note jazz that I think is some of my most cherished material. But I've got some recent pressings from Joe Jackson,
Okay.
which are, they're really pop jazz records if you think about it. The instrumentation and the arrangements and the chord structures. So, so there you go, Blue Note and Joe Jackson. I'm picking two because I got a stack under each arm.
There you go. Nice. All right. So what about your live studio? Okay.
Well,
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What's going on there?
Well, it's like I said, it's a secret. But I was inspired really by you guys and kind of seeing the technology and kind of going, I'm in this music thing and I got to figure out how to adapt all this crazy, vodcast stuff. And so I was taking out a warehouse space for some other reasons, and I had a little bit left over, and I thought, I'm going to build a stage. And it's just kind of a black box stage. It's just framed by truss and carpet and drapes. And we can host a band there, and we can stream some video and music, and or you can just have a hot jam session, and it's just a place for people to hang out and create in comfort.
Cool. Very nice. Well, we're gonna have to come out there and check it sometime.
Yeah.
Well, you had you told me outside that you had what was his name? The singer, hip-hop guy.
Yeah. Well, we were able to host a couple of projects. One project was a guitar and organ jazz project that we produced for NPR out here.
Nice.
And then we did a hip-hop broadcast for Rolling Stone's Twitch channel, and the act is Eric Bellinger, who's a famous hip-hop producer now turned hip-hop artist. And they had a great backing band and wonderful set dressings and a great light show. And again, it's this area where people are coming together, and everyone is a talented technician in their own right, like a creative technologist, and they're all doing their specialized craft, and and they're all contributing to the sum of this, of this wonderful creative output. So that's it. I've been calling it a creative space because I really don't know what it is. I hesitate to call it a studio, but it's easy to call it a studio because people know that. Creative space just sounds like it could be a sandbox,
Yeah, right. It's where my kids throw paint everywhere.
Yeah.
Go to your creative space.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Well, what do you have planned for the future?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is sell a bunch of records. And so right now we're really rolling out the marketing on the 4 titles that we have. We've recently started distribution in the UK and in France. I mentioned that Glenn Ferris is residing in France. And so we have a distribution out there. So all of his French fans can buy the vinyl. A lot of vinyl fans in France as well. So, sell records, conquer the world, drink a little bit of beer.
Drink some beer and
Save
conquer
up
some
enough
woman.
money to send yourself up to space.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
I'm going to let
there
other
you go.
people. I totally want to go to space, and I really want to create an attraction so the aliens visit us. I want
Yes.
aliens in my creative space.
You should
So do I.
you should reach out to Elon Musk
Yeah.
or SpaceX and see if you can put a record on their ship.
Hey,
Just like
there
they
you
put
go.
the car, and just send it out into space.
I dig that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Hey, say more about these aliens coming down.
Well, you guys are the alien experts.
Well, not necessarily. I think you're more of an alien expert than we are.
Well, I just think that if we had a beacon,
Okay, explain.
well, I think you need, sort of laser light and some radio waves, and
Sure.
you just cast it out there in space. You want to bring them in, and I think if we could get an alien band in my creative space, and we could, sort of live stream it, wouldn't that be awesome?
You would become, I don't know, the most popular person on the planet.
Hey,
I think I'd
what
love
what
that again.
what if some of the people that have been in your studio were aliens? You just didn't know it.
Oh, I'm almost certain we've been visited by aliens already.
Or you could sell your space as like an intergalactic studio, so all their friends and family can come by and perform.
Hey,
I
he's
think-
joining the ambassador. He's going
I-
to join the Mike on a Platter ambassador welcoming committee.
I think I know what it is. It's the Creative Space Port.
There you
Oh,
go.
there you
yeah.
go.
Nice. Boom. There it is.
Sooner or later, your
Need
name's
more
going to
beer?
be Intergalactic Soundscape.
Yeah, I'm getting a little parched here. It's kind of hot
Oh.
in here. More beer, please.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of aliens, more. There we go. That was the original Men in Black. Remember?
Oh yeah.
that cockroach
Sugar
thing.
water.
More sugar, please. All right. Cheers, gentlemen.
Prost.
And I want to say thank you, Paul, for coming in.
Oh yeah, man.
That was so rad for you to
always a-
come in and show us all your goods and
Always a
what
pleasure.
you're up to. Your 4 vinyl press projects look impressive.
Yeah.
I'm
we're very
especially blown
impressed.
away by that Bone Daddy's vinyl press with the
Yeah.
gold and
oh,
yellow
yeah.
and little red hits.
I'm blown
It's
away by
amazing.
everything you do.
I got to tell you guys, this has been so much fun. Just developing all these products, working with the talented musicians, and then the other creatives that are involved in the process. And I think it should give inspiration to people who both have dreams, but also a different way of listening to music.
Sure.
It's like it's really easy to stream stuff these days, and that's great. But when you really sit down and thumb through your library and look for that one record you're going to pick out, and you pull the record out of the sleeve delicately, and you put it on the turntable, and you clean it off, and then you delicately put the stylus down, and then you commit to deep listening, and you're going to listen to 20 minutes minimum. If you flip it over, you got 40 minutes, and you can just be taken away, and that's what I call the vinyl lifestyle. And I'm certain there are a lot of people who are saying, you know what, I remember that, and it was good, and I'm going back. And that's what I'm suggesting. So if that involves time travel, or if it involves, a DeLorean with the flux capacitor, or alien assistance, I think we should all dedicate a little bit of time. to listening to music.
You know what I don't hear anymore is albums. Like one song bleeds into the next, and it's like
Yeah.
a story and all that stuff.
no. That's done.
Pink Floyd, Mars Volta, all these albums that were stories.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing was a story, and it went from one song to the next, and it got all bled together, and
Well, I had a
2112.
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, right. I mean, the thing is that like the concept album, this thing that really took you on this journey. I love. There are some people who are still thinking about music in the same way. Guys like Jack White and other people who've really taken to that art form. But I think that album-oriented rock was a really special period of time, and
Absolutely.
It's not really been repeated. Before that, you had classical music, which took you on a journey, in a different musical style, but it would take you through, 4 movements or something.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Jorge, what do you think? You're the youngest guy here. What do you think? Do you think that the music today or albums of today, it's not that same experience, is it? Like, would you listen to music and sit there for 40 minutes with an artist's album and listen to it from start to finish?
I mean, I would if it was an artist that... I mean, I would, but a lot of the music nowadays... doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Really?
Everything's just poppy. Everything sounds the same. Everything meshes and blends in together. It's just a good beat, a good hook.
Yeah, and they're all kind of playing off each other's.
Yeah, and the chorus
things.
goes on for have you ever heard that song by what is it? Is it Harry Styles, the Watermelon Sugar High? How many times does he say Watermelon Sugar High? And how many times does he repeat that same verse in the whole song? And it's
you must be on a Watermelon Sugar High.
I was going to say,
listen to that over
either
and over.
that or he's sponsored by the watermelon and the sugar industry.
Yeah.
So I definitely wouldn't buy a record. I mean, his record. I would definitely go back and maybe look for like a Little Richard record or something.
You know what my son told me? My son's
Something worthy.
14. You know what he told me? He said, "Hey, Dad, you know what? I've listened to a lot of music now. You've introduced me to a lot of music. I've heard a lot of music out there." He said, "Dad, the best music, especially for rock, was from the mid 60s all the way to about the late 90s.
Yeah.
To about 2000. He said, everything before and after that kind of sucks, Dad. Okay.
Well, it all started with Chuck Berry, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that first of all, the pendulum is always swinging. So before we had albums, especially pop albums, you had singles. And in order for a pop act to be able to release an album, you had to have 8 successful singles.
Yeah.
And then the first album was a compilation of the 8 successful singles.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know
and
that.
So now we're kind of back in the singles mentality. The whole
downloading a song
Yeah,
or a couple
right.
songs from a artist,
So I think
regardless of the album.
Yeah, so the pendulum's way over here. We're at the single mentality. It started with iTunes and buying singles, and it's got to swing back. Because I think you're right. There are these little ear candy sort of pop ideas, but there's no sort of continuum. There's no thread that takes you on a journey. I had a really interesting conversation with Todd Rundgren about the album, and because this was back in the probably the late 90s, or no, it would have been the probably 2005, and we were talking about how the album had become this sort of portfolio or this documentation of a unique musical event, and that kind of storytelling right now it's gone, but every person I talk to says, I'd love to have music like that. I know people are listening. I know creatives are doing it, and the consumer needs to do their part. They need to demand it. They need to say, I want that kind of music.
Sure. Absolutely.
You know what I'm really into right now? I'm really into house music. And although a lot of house music sounds the same, they kind of have the same kind of tempo. But no, not that kind of house.
Okay.
It's
Different?
almost like dance disco.
Dance disc. Okay.
And there are a lot of artists out there that aren't on the radio that are making great music, and the way that they blend sounds together, it still has the same right, the same tempo, but it's different.
When's that?
And it's the only thing that's really got me excited, because there's a movement, like an underground scene, that I'm really digging. Not the radio stuff, but as far as rock and stuff I hear on the radio, pop, I can't waste my time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Make sure you get in front of the camera.
sorry.
Bobby.
So why should people care?
Well, care is better than not caring.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
So inspirational.
Why do
Paul.
they care?
So inspirational.
Yeah, why do they care about vinyl? Why should they care?
Yeah, right.
You know, I think the thing is you first of all, vinyl has stood the test of time. You know,
Out of all the different medias that were out there,
you don't see 8-track tapes, you don't see
right.
cassettes anymore. CDs are on the decline because you don't need that media because the streaming and the
digital,
downloads, right? But somehow vinyl persists, and you have to ask yourself why. And it's just the right blend of cost and durability and mixed media, and it's cool. And I think people like cool. And because it's in a physical format, you have to take care of it.
Sure.
You have to.
It becomes a possession and something that you want to cherish.
Yeah, you own a piece of the artist, and that album is going to influence you in ways. You know, you're taking it in today for the first time, but 10 years from now or 20 years from now, you're going to hear that song again, and you're going to be like walking through it, a time portal, and it's just special, and the people who make them are special, and it's almost kind of a sacred offering.
Yeah.
So that's why you should care, because they're sacred. People put a lot of love in there.
I think that's a great way to conclude all that. You got anything else, Jorge?
Well,
before we give this
how
guy
about a few questions?
boot out the door?
Music melee.
All right, go. a couple
Okay,
rounds.
Real quick,
perfect. Let's
won't
do
take
it.
too
Lay
long.
it on me, man.
All right. So between these, you have to choose one, and why. Doesn't have to be a long description. All right.
Can you get in front of the camera a little there, Jorge?
Sorry.
There you go.
Ray Charles or Sam Cooke?
Oh man, these are always so hard. I'm gonna go Sam Cooke, but I mean both are genius musicians. Sam Cooke just touched a special soulful nerve with me that it'll last as long as I can remember music.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend's favorite.
Nice answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good
Oh,
answer.
yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
answer.
Thank
Nice
you,
answer.
yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Let's see. Etta James or Ella Fitzgerald?
Man, you're killing me, man. I mean, how can you choose between those two?
He
Can
does
I just
that.
leave the burning house with
He
one
does
each
that
arm?
deliberately. You
Yeah.
have to pick one.
I am such an Ella Fitzgerald fan that it would be sacrilege not to choose Ella. So I'm going with Ella.
So far, we picked the same. Wow.
You needed like a
Shoots.
Yeah.
The diamond ring, the brand new car, and the luxurious house. All you have to do is say yes. 20 seconds, dear.
All right. The Spinners or Cornelius Brothers?
Ooh, I'm on a Spinners kick right now. I love the Spinners. I'd have to pick the Spinners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little Richie or Richard?
Yeah.
Or James Brown?
Yeah. Again, both are just absolutely amazing. But James Brown just set the stage on fire in a way
He
that
sure did.
no one else has, and influenced thousands of artists
Like Bruno Mars.
and others.
Yeah, and others.
Hardest working man in show business.
All right. A couple more. Elton John or Bob Dylan?
Well, I'm a really big Elton John fan. I love Bob Dylan. I love his transition through all of his different sort of musical phases, but my heart is connected to Elton John. When I started listening to records, his first record was one of my first records.
Okay.
And it left an impression.
Hey, I can play Rocket Man on guitar.
There you go. Just the little slidey bit.
Yeah, right. No, no. Actually, the whole song, and I sing it with my kids. My kids sing it too with me. It's pretty cool.
That's a great tune.
Fleetwood Mac or the Eagles?
Oh, man.
I know. Kicking the nuts.
Boy.
The magic
Don't
of
make me
Fleetwood
choose.
Mac
Don't
or
make
the
me choose.
nostalgia of the Eagles. That's a
Well, again, the Eagles have such a diverse and successful career. They span, decades, stylistically, they went through loads and loads of changes. They were always fresh, always interesting. But Fleetwood Mac had a magic.
Yeah, it's
that
the
they
Fleetwood
captured.
Mac magic that just.
Yeah, I mean, and those records were recorded so well. They're very sparse by today's standards in terms of instrumentation. The only things that are there are what's necessary. I'm gonna go Mac. But don't make me choose another one of those because it's too difficult.
Yeah,
But-
he's like gonna leave here and be like, I've forsaken
Well,
you.
secretly, there's my doppelganger who's choosing all the other ones. So
Yeah,
I figure
right.
that I'm okay. but-
On Earth 2 or Earth 54? Which one is it?
Exactly. Just
All right.
2.0.
There you go.
Well, this one. Let's see.
Come on, Jorge.
Let me see.
He's looking. He's thinking. There's a jalapeno on a stick.
Aretha Franklin or Nina Simone?
Aretha. I love
yeah.
Aretha. Everything she's ever done is just so amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
And last one. You like alternative rock, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's see. Where is it? Smashing Pumpkins or the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Oh, you know how to pick them. Again, I find myself going down a road and thinking, oh, it'll be Chili Peppers, and then you think, but hang on a second, Smashing Pumpkins went through some of their own sort of metamorphosis. I love the raw energy of the early Chili Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Chili Peppers. Again, tough choice, but
Freaky Styley, Uplift Mofo, Party Plan.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
All that stuff.
the original album.
Just, really, really harnessed energy. Making a record and capturing that energy in the studio is one of the hardest things to do. You hear about bands trying to do it all the time, right? And it's a special kind of magic, and everything's got to be right. The engineering's got to be right, the musicians got to be right, and when you get it though, you know it, and you go, oh my gosh, this is going to be a hit. And the Peppers did that, and especially in those early records, and just harnessed energy, kinetic energy, human kinetic energy.
Naked with socks on their dicks.
Yeah, right. I mean, who shouldn't do that?
Right, exactly.
I mean, if
Awesome.
you can
Come on, people, let's be reasonable here.
That's what needs to come back.
That's right.
bring back
Let's
the
get
socks.
some of them socks on them penises.
Now,
All right.
I'm going to suggest though that in the heat of summer, we're going to want to wear thinner cotton than the big old fuzzy
yeah.
ones of winter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right,
I'm
exactly.
Just saying.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah,
That
well,
was
thanks
great.
for having me, guys. This is always a pleasure. I love hanging out with you, talking about music.
Paul, it was a pleasure to have you
Yes,
back.
thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks for the beer.
Oh,
Paul
yeah,
Freudenberg, back again from Soundscapes Media Group, and check them out online
right on.
and on Instagram. Right, you guys have a presence
We-
there.
We're on Facebook and Instagram, and we've got our website and our web shop.
All the
and,
appropriate outlets.
sign up for our mailing list, buy some records, support the cause,
Absolutely.
and join the vinyl lifestyle or stay in the vinyl lifestyle. It's all good. It's wholesome. It's
Absolutely.
organic, free range.
Only buy records from him.
Well, thanks again, Paul. And you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about what we're doing here. We're not only talking about aliens and their wieners, but we're talking about cool stuff like this. Okay, there's there's some cool art out there. We're gonna try and bring it to you. And before you know it, just wait, we're gonna come out to you. We're coming out to you. Poppy and I have a little plan here. Okay, we're gonna come out to you guys with our little camera and our microphone. We're gonna ask for your opinion on stuff. We may ask you like serious, soulful questions. We may bring our little music
Music melee.
music melee. We may ask you if you got anal probed. We may ask you what kind of music you're into. Whatever, all kinds of stuff. What do you believe about this, that, and the other? We're gonna do it. We're gonna bring it.
I love
and,
that.
and-
Man
and
on the street.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Mike on the street.
Well,
Oh, I
we're
like that.
going to be Mike on a platter, and we're going to bring a platter with a little microphone on it, and we're going to walk around to people and put it in front of them and say, hey, we're
Dig it.
Mike on a platter.
Dig it.
And they're going to have to grab it.
Okay.
So, all right, guys,
All right,
peace
everybody.
out. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. We're going to keep bringing it. Please come on back. We appreciate you guys. And if you like what you saw, give us a comment or two.